Hey, what's up guys, it's Lee, and in today's video, we're gonna talk about 6 things that you guys can do to help to improve your YouTube videos. And so these are some things that I'm gonna share with you guys that if you start to do these things and kind of establish kind of a habit when it comes down to these, hopefully those are going to lead to an improvement in your YouTube videos. And really it's gonna make you a lot happier, it's gonna make your viewers a lot happier, and you're gonna just have a lot more success than you would have if you did not do these things. So the first habit that I would say that you guys should start to establish for yourselves when it comes down to your channel is to plan and script your videos. So I know this is not something that's very sexy when it comes down to YouTube videos, right? It's not something that we just automatically just get super excited about, but I think it's really important to talk about. So first, when it comes down to planning your videos, obviously you probably already have a list of different video ideas that you have and things like that. But when it comes down to planning the video itself and what you're actually going to be talking about, I think it's very important to kind of think about that video. Think about the vibe that you're trying to create. Think about, the setting that you're going to be in. Think about, the feeling that you want to convey, what it is that you're actually trying to get through to your viewers, right? So you need to plan that part out, right? Do you need a lot of B-roll shots in this video? Do you want to make it interesting and move around in different locations? Are you going to be walking through a park? Like, what is it, about that video that it's going to make it stand out and be special? So that might be something that you think about from a planning perspective, right? What kind of gear do I need for this video, right? And then when it comes down to scripting, again, this is not something that's super exciting, but it's something that's really important. So when it comes down to scripting, you have a couple of different options. Well, actually you have 3 different options. The first option is to just fully script your videos, right? I know, again, that might not be something that you're really excited about, but it works really well for a lot of people. So you can sit down and actually type out a full script for your video, word for word, and use a teleprompter and use that when you record your videos. It's going to make your record time so much shorter. It's going to condense that recording time a lot because you already have a script and you're just reading from it and you're just following the script, and that's it. You don't have to think about what you're saying. You don't have to look at your notes. You don't need to take pauses and breaks. You can just read straight from the script. And I know a lot of people are not comfortable with that when it comes down to a teleprompter or things like that. If you think that it suits you or it fits with your channel, I would say practice and try with a teleprompter for maybe 4 to 5 videos. And then I think by then you'll get really used to actually reading from the teleprompter and be more comfortable, and people won't even be able to tell that you're actually using one, honestly. But it works really well, especially if you're talking a lot of specs and things like that. It's just a great option. If that's not something that you think fits you, right? Then the second option is going to be to use bullet points, right? So think about and plan out your video, but just use bullet points. And you can look at those on your phone or, for your notes, and you can use that. And that is also going to create that structure in your video, and you're not going to go off on tangents and things like that. So it's going to help you to stay on track, and it's going to give you direction, but not too much direction, right? Like a full script's going to be. Then of course, the third option is really just to go, just freeball it and not use either one of those and just start recording and make a video. Now, if you've been doing YouTube for a long time, or if you're very, very comfortable in front of the camera, that might be something that you can do and you might do it well, but I definitely recommend to at least do the bulleted option. I think that's going to be something that you should definitely get in the habit of doing at the very least. So, you basically have the choice of those 3 different things. So try them out, see what works well for you. So the next thing that I think is going to be important in starting to create some habits and thoughts about as you make your videos is to focus on audio quality. So when it comes down to audio quality, it is by far, unfortunately, more important than the video quality. Someone will sit through a video with great audio quality, but subpar video. But they're not going to sit through a video that has phenomenal video and really crappy audio. It's just not going to happen because they don't want to sit through it. If you're actually recording and you sound like you're in an echo chamber, you sound like you're super far away, if the audio quality just sounds muffled or just muddy and just terrible, people are not going to watch your video no matter what you're talking about and how great the topic is, you are, or anything else that is going on in that video. So you want to make sure you have good audio. So there's a few different things that you can do when it comes down to that, right? Now, first of all, a lot of cameras these days, they do have great onboard mics and it picks it up. It sounds really good. But a lot of times, unfortunately, you're in rooms like the one I'm in right now where there's lots of walls and you got your sound waves bouncing off the walls. It just doesn't sound great going into that camera. So some other options that you have, I'm going to kind of go through those. So the first option, which is the cheapest option, and it's really if you just don't have anything else, better, And that's really just to use your cell phone. Use your cell phone. You can actually just open up the voice memo app. Make sure you keep your phone like really close to you, maybe stack it on some books a little close to you, but that audio source is gonna be closer to you. And so it's gonna sound a lot better than it's gonna sound on the actual onboard microphone on your camera. So that's one option. Another option is to use like a shotgun microphone that you can actually put on top of your camera. They have a lot of those these days. Some might made by Rode or Deity. You can just put those on there and they sound, much better. It's not gonna be the best, but it sounds pretty good. And obviously it really just depends on the room that you're in, but I'm gonna touch on that in a second. The next option that you have, of course, is using a actual shotgun mic. So for instance, I use the Deity S-Mic 3, and that microphone is basically an XLR microphone, and it's pointed directly towards my chest, and it picks up the audio. It goes into an actual recorder, and that's how I'm actually getting the audio for my videos. And it sounds really good. Hopefully you like the way it sounds. So that's another option for you as well. Or you can go with something like this, which is also an XLR microphone, this is the Rode PodMic. And if your style of video is something where you can just sit there and talk into this microphone like this, that also might be a great option for you too. But honestly, when it comes down to it, I think something that's going to work for most people, it's going to be the easiest option, is really a wireless microphone, something like this Rode Wireless Go 2. They also have DJI that makes a really good wireless system as well. So you have a lot of options when it comes down to wireless. You can just clip this to your shirt and you can talk. And it's great, especially if you like to move around, if you're close and you're far away from the camera, if you're doing a lot, if you're in different settings. This is a great option for you as well. Another good thing about this is that you can plug in a lav mic and have it run straight up to your shirt, and it can be clipped on your shirt as well. And that's another great audio source. So that's something else I would really recommend, if nothing else. Definitely make sure that you upgrade your audio as soon as possible. And then also, if you have the ability, make sure you're listening to your audio, as you're recording, or, every once in a while, just check in to see if the audio sounds good, because you can record an entire video and there can be some kind of interference, or you forgot to hit the record button. So many different things can happen, and you're going to record an entire video and be like extremely upset about it. So I definitely recommend that. Some other things that you guys can do to improve your audio as well is to think about the environment that you're in. So like I said, if you're in a room with lots of walls, you're going to get all these sound waves bouncing all over the place. It's not going to sound great, right? So one of the things you can do is, if you're in a room without a carpet, make sure you go and buy a nice thick area rug. Put that on the floor beneath you where you're recording. That's going to help to absorb a lot of those sound waves, and that's going to dampen that echo, and it's going to sound a lot better. You're going to be really surprised by that. If you have a carpeted room, you can still, again, add another carpet on the floor. If you are in a room like this one and it has a window, go ahead and get some nice thick curtains and put those up. You can close them, and that's going to also absorb a lot of sound, and that's going to be really great for your audio. And then lastly, you also have the options of, using foam, and you can put those things on the wall. That can absorb a lot of that bouncing sort of effect as well, and that can absorb a lot of sound. So that's also another option. But I think that if you go with like a wireless option or like a Deity S-Mic 3, I think that you're going to be really happy. You're not going to have to do a whole lot to improve your quality of your audio, but those are some things I highly recommend, because again, they're going to listen to your video, and if it sounds like crap, they're not going to stay around. All right, so the next thing that you want to make sure you focus on, or create a habit of making sure you're thinking about and focusing on, is going to be your lighting. You want to make sure you have good lighting. You want it to be as visually appealing as possible. So if you don't have a lot of money for gear just yet because you're starting out, you can always use a natural light source like your window, and nice soft diffused light always looks the best, and you can do that. And you can do that for as long as you can, and that's going to be phenomenal, and it's going to be great. But what do you do if it's at night and you want to record, or if it's a cloudy, rainy, stormy day? What do you do? So some other options are going to be buying some cheap lighting kits on Amazon. So you can start out there. You can also do something like I have. It's called the Molus G60, I believe, by Zhiyun. And I'm saying that completely wrong, but it's a light. It's very small. It comes with a softbox. You can use that if you buy the kit, or you can use like another softbox as well. But you're still going to need the Bones mount. You can use a softbox. It's going to soften the light. And one light is going to be perfectly fine. You can get really nice video with just one light. I have all these lights in the background, but you don't need those. You just need one light. And if you can do that, you're going to have, great results. And it's going to really like take your videos to the next level, seriously. So think about the lighting situation that you have. Always make sure that your lighting is going to be in front of you, if possible off to the side a little bit, maybe a 45-degree angle. You don't want the light to be behind you shining into the camera, because you're just going to be black and dark and it's going to look ridiculous. So make sure you keep those things in mind, and you're going to have, really good visuals in all of your videos. So just make that a habit of always thinking about that before you press record. So the next thing you want to get in the habit of doing is making sure that you're editing efficiently. And what do I mean by editing efficiently? What I mean is that you're not spending hours and hours and hours thinking about different things to edit and change in your video, and just hopping all over the place in terms of different things you're focusing on. What you want to do as soon as possible when you start recording videos for YouTube is think about that process that you're going to have. Think about the approach that you're going to have when it comes down to editing your videos. That's going to cut down on the amount of time that you're spending on your computer and not thinking about new ideas and recording videos. It's going to cut that down tremendously the more efficient you are. So for instance, I have everything uploaded onto the computer. I put it on the timeline. I use Adobe Premiere, by the way. I put everything on the timeline. If I need to sync audio, I sync the audio. The first thing I do after I do that is I get the color correct in my video. So I correct the color so that I do that immediately, right? It's hard to do individual, things. After you chop your video up, that makes it really tough to do. So I fix all those things first. When it comes down to audio, I get the audio right. I balance everything. I make sure it sounds great. And I mute the tracks that I'm not using. I do all those things first, right? Then I go through and I listen and I cut out all the dead spots. Anytime I'm looking at my notes, I'm thinking, I cut all those out. Then I go back and I listen to it and I cut out anything that's not really relevant, anything that's not really that important, that really gets in the way of me expressing what I need to express. I cut all that out until really the nuts and bolts of that remains. And I keep going through the video like that, section by section. And then I go back through it another time and another time. And then the video gets smaller and smaller, more condensed, more compact, a much better video. And then I start thinking about the audio, what I want this video to sound like, the vibes that I need. Do I need, B-roll first? Because that's something else too, right? Do I need to go and shoot some B-roll? Did I forget something? How can I best present this information? And then I use one of the new features that Adobe Premiere has, where it cuts out all the filler words like and ah and all that kind of stuff. I use that. I yank all that stuff out. Then I go to the audio. I think about the vibe of the video. Think about what I'm trying to convey. Is this a real chill video? Like, I find the music for that and I add that into the video. And then by the time I'm done that, I'm pretty much finished editing my video. But if you don't establish an actual process for yourself, what you're going to find yourself doing is hopping around, doing different things. And then if you change your mind, or if you realize that you forgot to do something, you're going to have to go back, and it's going to take you even longer to fit, and sometimes to fix. And then sometimes you have to actually start over. So have an efficient process for editing. Do that as soon as possible. No matter what system you use, you don't have to use Adobe Premiere. You can use CapCut. You can use whatever it is that you want to use, but just establish that process for yourself and you're going to be a lot happier. All right. So the next thing you want to get in the habit of doing is creating engaging thumbnails and titles for your videos. Let's face it, if you have a phenomenal video and you have a really bad thumbnail or terrible title, no one's going to watch your video. You can spend like weeks on this video and it could be amazing. Okay. But no one's going to watch it, because if your thumbnail is crap or your title is crap, it doesn't matter. So what you want to do is you want to spend time understanding what makes a good thumbnail, what makes a good title. And one of the ways you can do this is spend time just periodically looking through people's videos in your niche, looking to see the types of thumbnails they have, the different titles, and think about what it is that's drawing people in to actually watch that video. What is making that thumbnail compelling? Why are people really drawn to that? What is it about the title? Are they challenging a belief? Is it shocking? Is it strange? Is it mean? Is it angry? Is it curious? Is it new? Is it trendy? Think about those things, and once you realize what it is, you can start to incorporate some of those things into your thumbnails. Now, I do admit I'm not like the thumbnail title master, okay? But these are things that you're gonna get better over time. So definitely take those things into consideration, and just over time, get in the habit of regularly looking at those things, and your thumbnails and titles are gonna improve over time as well. You can also use things like TubeBuddy or vidIQ to improve your video titles as well. But again, always get in the habit of looking at these thumbnails as well, and that's going to really help. All right, so the next thing you want to get in the habit of doing when it comes down to YouTube videos to help to improve those videos is to regularly engage with your audience. So when you're making videos, make sure you're asking questions throughout your video, making sure that you're asking your viewers to do something. You know, leave a comment below. For instance, if you like this video so far, hit the like button for me. If you have some things that I'm talking about and I haven't talked about it yet, or you have a great idea, leave a comment below. You can do things like that throughout your video, and that's going to also help people to start to, you know, engage with you as well. Make sure that if people are leaving comments on your video that you are replying to as many comments as possible, right? If you have other social media channels in terms of like, you know, IG or TikTok or different things like that, make sure that you're creating sort of an ecosystem where people can reach out and find you in different formats, right? Because maybe they love your videos, but they also like your style. Maybe they are on IG and they're looking at your style a lot, or looking at your day-to-day life. It really depends on how you present yourself online. Just think about how everything works together, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. And that's going to help to create a really nice audience where people feel like they're part of a community, right? They feel like they know you. They feel like, you know, they want to learn more about you. They're engaged with your content. They'll watch your content even if it's not something that really pertains to them, but just because they like you and your personality or how you present, you know, your information or whatever it is, they're going to always be there watching your content. So that's why that's really important as well. Now, if you do these 6 things, I think that your YouTube videos are going to be taken to another level. And I think you're going to be really, really happy with the outcome. And I think that your viewers are going to be really happy as well. If you found this video to be helpful, definitely hit the like button for me. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this. I make videos for content creators. So basically it's content for content creators. That's what I do on this channel. So if you like content like that, definitely subscribe. I've tried to make videos every single week. I've been away for a little while because I just got sick a few times, like ridiculous. COVID's still out here, okay? But if you want to be, you know, stick around for more videos like that, definitely subscribe to this and hit that notification bell so you guys can be alerted when I make new videos. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.